Hi, this is John with Soft Cell Electrical, and today we're going to show you how to pre-wire a sub-panel for inspection. First of all, we start on the back side of the panel. The sub-panel is actually on the opposite side of this, and these are home runs. Home runs are what feed everything throughout the house. Now, it's important to note that home runs have to be secured in two ways. First of all, they have to be mechanically secured within 12 inches of where they enter the actual panel right here. Also note that these are all number 12 wires. This is 12-3, 12-2, 12-2, 12-2, 12-3. 12 wires can all go in to the same entry. Now this is a lock collar, and this is the second method of attachment to secure the wires to the panel. Okay? And that's called a lock collar. Anything that's 10 gauge or bigger has to go in through its own hole. This is 10-2, this is 10-2, this is 10-3. Therefore, they each have their own opening. This is a plastic bushing. These two are metal bushings. I used the plastic on this because it's 10-3, it's a little bigger, and it just fits a little better. And then lastly, this has all been foamed around here, so it's entirely waterproof from the outside. Water cannot get to this area. Everybody does their makeups a little bit different, and one of the first things I like to do is to loosen up the ground bar and the neutral screws. You can tell this is a ground because it's attached to the box. This is a neutral because it's isolated. Now they're connected here. Some inspectors like you to take this off, some like you to leave it on. I leave it on because during inspection, if they want it off, all you got to do is 2 screws, it's off, they're happy. So basically, you loosen these up first. Now, one thing's important. When you desheath your wire, you want to use a very dull knife. See that? The reason why is because you do not want to damage this. All you have to do to desheath it is press on it. You do not even need to cut. See, that's just pressed. Now what you do is you pull that off, and there's already a label on it. H2O. That means water heater. So, you take that, and this is a 240 volt circuit. So, I always pull my home runs a little bit long. So you want to pull this up to at least the top of the panel so that it'll come over and you can fit your breakers in there nicely. Cut that off, and then you put your label on it. And I want the ground on that side. And basically, I did that at regular speed, and now we're going to speed this up a bit. Little trick of mine. Unscrew this screwy wire, which is screwed up. It's twisted. And you do that by doing that. Otherwise, you spend about an hour unscrewing it. Okay, this is a 12-2 That's two different circuits. Black is the kitchen GFI. Red is the dishwasher disposal. That way, when you go into your panel to do your makeup, you know which wire to label to which breaker on the panel cover, so that you know how to turn off the correct circuit. All panels have to be properly labeled. Okay, back to normal speed. Once you get your home runs cut and they're still labeled, you want to leave a couple wires a little longer than the rest. And the reason why is you take those, you take at least one of them, and you wrap them around the home runs so that they stay nice and neat and they don't get all tangled up. Okay, so now we take our home runs and we're going to tuck them over here to the side, nice and pretty like, and the home runs are done. Now what you do is you separate your ground from your neutrals. Now this is the ground bar, like I said, because it's actually physically connected to this box. This is your neutral bar because it's isolated through a separate non-conductive bushing. So you separate your grounds from your neutrals. Now that's the ground bar portion, and you can see they're nice and square, and they go in their respective openings. We're now going to do the neutral side. We do it the same as the ground, and we square them off the same, except these have to be stripped. And you want to strip them at just about a ½ inch. And we're going to finish locking down these neutrals. Now, we're back to normal speed, and one thing I would like to note is that there's what you call a UFER, and that's called an underground ferrous rod, and that is used to ground this to the ground so it's fully grounded. Well, the concrete guy forgot to put it in, so normally your UFER would be a piece of copper that came up through here, okay, in a piece of conduit connected to this lug right here, because that's your ground lug. But there's no UFER, so we're going to go ahead and call this for rough inspection and call the UFER in when we do the underground inspection. But this is a well made up panel. As you can see, the home runs are tucked up and out of the way. Grounds are nice and straight and angled in very nicely, just like the neutrals are. And everything is locked down. All I got to do is put the cover on and we're ready for inspection. Okay, this is John Cook with Soft Cell Electrical, and that's how you get a panel ready, made up and ready for inspection. It's all buttoned up and ready to go. Thanks, and stay tuned for the next video. Have a great day.